how I connect to the play is on many different levels, because there's so much in the play to connect to. I mean, for one thing, I have, in my personal life, in my family, I have a mother who is 96, and we've been going through a lot with her in terms of dementia and care for her. And, you know, she's been in and out of the hospital a lot lately. It's been a tough year. But she was in a nursing home, and all she ever did was beg and beg not to stay there. She did not want to stay there, and she made it very clear that she didn't want to stay there. So we've ended up having her come home, and we have round-the-clock care in her home. And the challenges of caring for a person who's declining, especially with, you know, physically she's fairly strong, but memory-wise, and the way that she mixes things up, doesn't remember things, you have to repeat things, and it's dangerous. I mean, I think a lot of people, you know, in my age now with older parents, or even I have a friend whose mother was in her 70s when she got Alzheimer's, and just to watch the decline of this person who was brilliant and who had so much in her life, and see that she couldn't, you know, she couldn't remember the simplest things, or she got confused, and it was harder and harder for her to be in social situations, and her world just got more and more narrow. And you still love the person, but the person is different, and you have to, you know, you have to work with them on the level that they're at, and it's very challenging. You know, it's so I relate to it because personally there's, you know, there's been these things in my life, and even with other older relatives beside my mom, so I see it as widespread. I mean, a lot of people have this going on in their families, and it's hard to deal with. It's hard to do it every day, to figure out a system that works. It's expensive. It's scary because you're never sure if you're really doing the right thing or what. And I'd say there's not a lot of help out there either. I mean, there are doctors and there are people who interact, but they can't, you know, there's not a lot that they can really do. And you don't want a person to be all drugged up on medicine, so, you know, you're dealing with balance, and how do you find the right treatment, and what's the right, you know, the right way to proceed. And you want a person to have their, you know, to have their dignity. You want them to be able to live as good a life as they can, and not to feel embarrassed or to have to feel like they're a burden to people, because a lot of people feel that. So that's how I connect to it. I find it very real, and I find it challenging. Like even the play, some of the issues in the play are very challenging, and I've never faced that, but I can see it happening. Because when a person is not in their right mind, they're not the person that you thought they were. So you can reason with them and talk with them and try to be rational, but it doesn't always work. Anyway, you can't follow the same path that you thought you could before.